Did you see that, guys? I barely remembered how to put the boat onto my bike, but it's done. Let me show you the basics of it. I hope I remember how to put the bike on the boat when I get down to the river, because that's what we're gonna do today. Gonna ride the bike to downtown Edmonton and then find a spot to launch this and then float back on the river. How much better can it get? See, I got this to keep it apart far enough so that I can paddle comfortably. It moves a little bit, like, see, there's less space on this side than on this. Everything's in here. It only takes one bungee to tie it across. I have more bungees, I have life jacket, I have paddles or oars. The boat's in there, the pump, everything's in there. I hope I got enough bungees in there to tie the bike, but I think that's not a big deal. I'll hop on this bike now and go for a ride. So guys, I'm under a bridge and I picked this place because it's nice and quiet and it's easy access to the water. See, it's a little bit rugged to get down here, and there's a sign saying construction ahead. This is also a spot where I'm not super far away from home, because all I'm going to do today is just, try it out again. I mean, I haven't done this for about 2 years now. And, I don't even know if I still remember how I used to put my bike on the platform there and stuff. But, we'll go through it together. Oh, just like magic. Everything's down there now. Now I gotta get down there too. Yeah, see, this is steep and it's loose. So I have a technique which basically means I go sideways and I watch every step. See, somebody already slid there. Somebody had to bring that bike down and somebody had to bring that boat down, isn't it? Or is it just like, boom, magic? The next step is to blow up the boat. There's a lot of sharp rocks here. I don't really like this, but because there's nothing in the boat yet, I could just go ahead and do it. I just gotta be careful with it, that's all. Roll it out. Open it up. So stick the pump into number 1, and I think it's blown up enough. So this already has a one-way valve. All I have to do is put the button and this is good to go. Now go number 2 and then number 3. It's easy. Yeah, I have to set it up like right here or something so that I'm not going to be scraping too much. So now here's that big platform. See, I even got some rubber here to protect the vinyl because there are screws under there. The way this goes is exactly like this. Gonna secure it here in the front and on both sides. This one here is an extra long one, and I think it takes always 2 to get this right. So you go through here. So this is what it looks like, ready to go to put the bike on there. All that plywood really does is to protect the vinyl from sharp parts on the bike. Next step, put the bike on there. So you might be wondering if I actually built this. Well, there's proof on this channel, but what it is I tried to put this the way that I think it's the wrong way. I think the handlebars has to go to the right side. See, when you see the platform, it's deceiving because this is higher, but I think this is where I always had my rack, and the handlebars on this side. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Okay, one last look here. See if this bike is secured. Oh yeah, there we are. Waterborne, is that what it's called? There's rocks underneath here. That's a bit of a problem. Push it out just a little bit further so we don't run the risk of running on something sharp there. And now it's done. I'm on the water, guys. Yoo-hoo! It's a celebration. Now I gotta set up the oars because I wouldn't mind rowing a little bit. So I got 2 oars. Now it's like a peaceful, relaxing time on the water. This goes super slow unless I paddle. But I'm not in a hurry or anything like that. I'm just gonna enjoy this. This is what it looks like with the bike. I think the bike is secure enough for the water we're on. Now if this was the ocean, I don't know. But yeah, this feels great, and I'm just gonna spend a few minutes here to orient myself, set myself up the way it's most comfortable. Still got my shoes on. I don't need my shoes on, guys. See how the shore is just floating by. I am curious to see what this all looks like from this side of the water, because usually I'm mostly on the trail up there, and sometimes it could be surprising what you see from down here. We're floating right by the Edmonton River Boat now. It looks like there's people on there. Woo! There you can see the paddle wheels. It looks like they're not going anywhere, but I know they do cruises on this little river boat. Let's see the paddle wheels. So yeah, they're functional, and I can see they're all wooden, like the old style stuff. I don't know, you could probably eat lunch on there without going on a cruise. I have drone footage of this boat in action. I'm not sure if you've ever seen it. It's the train bridge, the Tawatina Bridge, and I'm just floating by the beach here. This is called the Accidental Beach. Did you know Edmonton had an actual beach like right about downtown? It's the best thing ever. So the way this beach came to be was when they were digging out the foundations for that bridge, they had to put the debris somewhere, or the sand or whatever they dug up, and it created a beach. And now, well, people are enjoying it in the summer. So in the past, I've made videos where I was taking my small drone, the DJI Mini 2, on the boat with me, and then I launched it from here. And let me tell you, it was always a bit of a challenge to make sure you get that drone back. And one time it was just about here in this area, I lost track of it. I had my old iPhone 8 with me. The screen, when it's sunny like this and it's warm, I guess to protect the phone or whatever, it goes dark. And that's what happened while the drone was in the air, and I lost track of where it was. It wasn't far from me, but it got lost. And at first I was really worried that the drone was in the water. And then days later, like I found there's a website where you can go and find out all the data that your drone is recording and sending to the app. Check the description. I'll look it up and I'll leave a link down below. And that app was actually telling me the last location that it recorded the drone. And that was the reason for me to keep looking for it. The drone was lost for a few days before I finally realized that the last location it was recorded was not on the water. So, you know, it had to be somewhere in the bush. And sure enough, it was. Now you can see over there on the bridge, there's a train, the LRT Valley Line. Of course, I have drone footage of that. Some really good one, I think. That's the kind of thing I enjoy the most with the drone, you know, to capture trains, capture boats, capture landmarks, I guess. In Edmonton, it's always hard because you have to launch from private property unless you have insurance and you can tell the city that, well, this is a commercial thing that I'm doing, you know. I guess stock footage would probably qualify, but I don't do that. I just launch either from private property or from the riverbank, where it's basically crown land. You know, so the city bylaw doesn't apply. I don't know. It's a little sketchy, I know. I usually go early in the morning, often on a Sunday. Sometimes I go in the evening. I don't post all my drone footage on YouTube, no. I post it on Pond 5, where it could actually be downloaded for a fee, of course. You know, that's part of how I'm recuperating some of the costs, even though it's kind of little, but it's something, you know. Anything is better than nothing. And that's where YouTube monetization also comes in, you know. So a video about boating wouldn't be complete, you know, same as when you board your airplane. The flight attendant is going to give you the safety demonstration. So let me give you the safety demonstration on my boat. See, I got this. Sorry about the noise. Got my life jacket. So in case all of this collapses, you know, the air goes out, the bike goes down, the mic, bloop bloop, underwater. Well, I got the life jacket. Besides that, I'm probably gonna rip it off and swim on my own, because I think I'm pretty good at that too, but you never know, you know, like a big wave might come, knock me unconscious or something. Life jacket. Now, if I'm in distress, see, I got this thing. It's got an inner tube in there for weight, and then a rope. So when I zip this up and I throw this at somebody, in another boat or something, then they can tow me, just in case, you know, I lose my oars or any other means of propelling myself. Right now I'm mostly using the river, and I don't even touch my oars half the time. We're getting toward the Dawson Bridge now. Well, we're going toward that big thing there, that big pillar. Can we avoid it? Holy. Of course we can, but I'm passing a little close. See that? Woo! Yeah, I got good control of the boat with those oars. So guys, I actually paddled back a little bit to see if I could read what this graffiti says. And I have to admit that I can't. It says, the first letter is an A, the second one is inverse S, so azure, gover, lover, something lover, azure lover. They make nice looking letters, but sometimes they're hard to decipher. They don't look like they're supposed to. Somebody over there is operating a remote controlled speedboat. It's tiny. Got motor, yay! Thank you. So here's a question. What do you think you're looking at right now? Is this a beaver den or an active homeless camp? Or perhaps a former homeless camp? Or a fishing net and a tarp? Like, or did all this just get caught there on the tree branch when the water was high? It's really hard to say. So yeah, you always got little things that make you curious, you know, what is going on the riverbank, on the river. There's so many spots here that I see where I could just go to with my drone and take off and see all this from up above. It's really cool when you can see it from this side of the water too, though. So I really like doing the boat. Now, having it like the way I have with the bicycle on the boat, and then I can put the boat back on the bike when I go home. You know, I can use both modes. It's great, you know. It's just fantastic, and I'm glad I did this time because it's been a while, and I almost didn't know how to set this up anymore. You know, it's just time goes by and you forget. But it's actually, as you've seen, it's pretty simple. It's just today it took me ridiculously more time than normal. However, you get to see this, and hopefully it'll inspire you to try something and maybe improve on my design, because I know it's not perfect and it's kind of goofy. But for me it's worked, and it's been so affordable, so cheap. You know, people buy very expensive pack rafts, and then they still have to do weird things to keep the bike on it and stuff, like put one guy told me corrugated plastic. Well, that's not too much different from my plywood thing, but the corrugated plastic isn't going to help you when you're going to put this thing on your bike. So then you have to come up with something else, and where are you going to keep a corrugated plastic on the bicycle, you know? So yeah, this plywood contraption actually makes it really good to do both. Oh, there's those fast guys again. Shit, man. Now it's gonna be wavy here. Yeah, these guys, I'm gonna be like floating like in the ocean. You know, there's always so much to do in the summer, especially since Barbara and I always try to do some traveling in the winter time. You know, owning your own house is a chore. Having a garden that definitely wasn't the greatest this year, and having 2 vehicles and doing everything yourself because you're on a budget. Sometimes it's overwhelming, and this year has been no exception. And this is the first time that I find the time to actually do this bike ride, boat ride combination. I'm hoping it won't be the last. And yeah, like I'd actually like to try another camping trip like that, but time for that is we got another month or so, and then maybe I don't know, maybe October is still okay, but then it's a gamble. You never know what the weather's gonna bring. See, if I wanted to go camping with this, I would right now put one pannier on the front rack and one on the back, and it would be nice and stable, just like now. Wouldn't be a problem at all. Mind you, when you only have 2 small panniers to pack all your stuff in, then you got to be very selective about what you take. So there's very little food in there. There's a sleeping bag, an air mattress, the tent, and that's it. Then you got everything packed, and it's the limit. You don't really want to take any more on this little thing. That couldn't be a better day for this. I mean, it's probably too hot to enjoy working outside. It is too nice to enjoy working indoors. It's calm. See, I don't know. Now that I say that, a little bit of wind is picking up, but I don't have a fluffy thing on the mic, and you can hear me perfectly well. The wind is calm. It's like, now I got waves. This is an adventure entirely in Edmonton, and the nice thing compared to when you're riding the bike only, even if it's on the trails, but especially compared to when you're riding the bike on the roads, it's nice and quiet on the water for the most part. I mean, you got motor boats here and there, but it's so few. And so far, I don't know if you noticed that, but so far, nothing really has gone wrong. I got a little bit of dirt on my hand from the chain as I was tying up the bike. Yeah, I got some graphite in my lubricant, that's why it's black. Other than that, it's just a perfect thing to do, and it's so easy, really. It's so really easy, I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to take the car. I don't have to go and pack a whole bunch of stuff. No, just the bike and the boat. I'm also looking at the sandstone there, it's like a wall right on the riverbank. I mean, you couldn't step on there, or you could, but you'd be up to your waist in the water, and then it's just a steep wall. See? There's some trees that could barely hold on, and maybe in 5 years from now they're going to be in the water, and there's going to be a different kind of wall. Yeah, roll on the river, ling-a-ling-a-doo. So that's it for the boating part of my little excursion here. Now is a task of getting the boat out of the water and putting it back on the bike. Same as before, just in reverse. Okay, the Crocs can get wet, that's good. Yeah, I don't want to float back out in the water. There, done. Got a wet butt, that's about it. Now the task of doing everything again. It's all ready to go. Just need to hop on the bike and ride home. Yeah, I'm in the wrong gear for climbing, and I know it's not gonna shift into low gear when it's this much tension on there. But I'm rolling, that's all that matters. I made it past the hump. Holy. Next thing, I cross a bridge. I go right over here. Built up an appetite and a thirst. Well guys, this is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Maybe it inspires you to try something on your own. My dream is still to make a contraption that I can sit on like this, paddle, and propel myself in the water at the same time. Like, how do you do this? I've seen weird things online that look like bicycles with floaters, but it doesn't seem like they move very well in the water. So that's been an idea of mine for some time. Have a bicycle that I can ride like this on land, and then just keep riding right into the river and keep going like a boat. If you have any ideas on how to make this happen, leave me a comment. I much appreciate it. I'm working on some kind of design that could accomplish that, but I'm nowhere near actually having it. So any help is appreciated. And man, would that be a feeling to go right into the water, bike and everything, and just keep going and move on the water well enough so that it doesn't seem like you're like lost, or what do you say, powerless. So there you go. I'll see you soon in another video.